Hello everyone, I'm Naseer Hussain, 19EC01047. In this lab session, we'll be looking at statistical analysis of signals. Here, the statistical parameters that I have used are skewness, kurtosis, and variance. Firstly, I have downloaded 3 audio files of 1 hour each of a fan sound, of a human speech sound, and a train sound, and I've changed the sampling frequency of these 3 audio files to 16 kilohertz using the Audacity software. Now what I'll be doing is I'll use the first 30 minutes of the 3 audio files to find the range of the statistical parameters. Here firstly what I've done is I've created three row vectors, one to store skewness values, one to store kurtosis values, and one to store variance values, and three more matrices to store the ranges of skewness, kurtosis, and variance for the fan sound, train sound, and human speech sound. First, coming to the fan sound, 1 hour of fan sound consists of 1800 seconds. So if we consider 1 second as one single sample, then we'll have 1800 samples. So we run the loop from 1 to 1800, and for each sample we audio read the sample, and then we calculate the skewness, kurtosis, and variance, and store the values in the corresponding arrays that we created. And in the end, we'll find out the minimum and maximum of each of these statistical parameter for the fan sound. A similar procedure is repeated for human speech sound, followed by train sound. So like in this way, using the first 30 minutes of the 3 audio files that we have found out the ranges of these 3 statistical parameters. Now coming to the next 30 minutes, we'll create 3 empty matrices which will be our confusion matrices. Now we run a loop from 1800 to 3600, means from the 30th minute to the 1 hour, and for each 1 second sample we'll again do audio read, and we'll calculate skewness, kurtosis, and variance. And now we'll check whether it lies in the ranges that we have calculated using the first 30 seconds. If it lies in the ranges, then the corresponding element in the confusion matrix will be incremented. This is over here I'm doing this process for the second 30 minutes of the fan sound, and then a similar process is repeated for speech sound as well as for the train sound. Now coming to the MATLAB GUI, this is my GUI design. It has first of all, it contains a drop down list which contains the 3 statistical parameters, skewness, kurtosis, and variance. Based on the statistical parameter that is selected over here, the corresponding confusion matrix will be shown over here, and if kurtosis is selected, then the histogram for kurtosis of fan, speech, and train sound will be plotted. Similarly, for if skewness is selected, skewness histograms will be plotted over here. So coming to the code view, the code that I've used over here is very similar to the one that I showed you a few seconds ago. Secondly, the only difference is that here I've used an if else end statement to plot the histogram based on what value is selected in the drop down list. And similarly, at the end of the code, I've used another if else end statement to determine which confusion matrix is to be depicted in this table over here. The remaining code is very similar to the one we saw a little while ago. So now I'll be running this code and showing you the output. Since it is a very big code, it will take a few minutes to run. So as you can see over here I've this is the confusion matrix for the skewness values, and these are the 3 histograms for fan, speech, and train sound. We can see from the confusion matrix that there is a lot of overlapping between the ranges, so we have to find a more efficient way rather than simply relying on the ranges to to analyze the signals and predict these signals based on the statistics that based on the statistical parameters that we have. So thank you.